In today's video, we find out what happens when Boss High Card meets the Boss Clone Troopers inside of Fortnite. This is the first boss meet we're doing this season, and I can't wait to see who's going to win between the Clone Troopers and the High Card boss. So the plan for today's video is to grab one of High Card's locations and take it over to a Rift Encounter Clone Trooper spawn. That's the only current way the Clone Troopers spawn as I am recording this video. So we grab one of the High Cards, we use our Force method, which I'll explain later in the video, to move him over to a Clone Trooper spawn, and that should be it. We should be able to see what happens when these meet, who will win. Let's jump in and find out. So jumping straight into this, we're now in the battle bus, and all we've got to do is locate the Clone Trooper Rift Encounters.
Let's dance!
So now we're diving in, we've got to find them. It's fairly simple. I'm going to grab myself a fishing rod, grab myself the car, and then we're going to search around for the Rift Encounters. Now let's blast a little bit of the Pirate Out radio. Okay, so after a little bit of time of driving around, we eventually found one of the Rift Encounters where the Clone Troopers spawn. This is on custom games, so we should be able to grab these, and we've grabbed our fishing rod, and you know what that means? It's time to get them on the vehicle. We've done this so many times in the past, so it's fairly easy to pull off. Let's try and find some splashes.
What do you know?
Well, that was fairly lucky. I got splashes straight away, and our car was set, and now all we have to do is fishing rod them on the car. So I'm going to sit in the car where Waken gets them on simply by fishing rodding them over. It's quite difficult to do, but, you know, with a little bit of time and practice, you can kind of get it right.
Come on, let's keep a little optimism.
All right, Han, we'll get him on. We'll get him on. Don't worry. Come on, we can do it. So with a little bit of time, this will hopefully work. Oh, no. This is so hard to get on these Clone Troopers, and with it being custom games, we don't have long at all.
Greatest teacher. Failure.
Yeah, we know that, Yoda. It takes a while to get these geezers on, but hopefully... Oh, there we are. We did it. So, Clone Troopers on board. Let's make a little move for it. So moving the Clone Troopers around, we obviously have to locate our spot for them and where we're going to take them. And that's going to be one of the High Cards. So in this attempt, we're going to take them over to the High Card at Brutal Bastion. That's the closest High Card to us. So let's take the clones. Oh, what are the clones doing? Oh, they're falling off. What a nightmare. Why is that? They used to do this in the past, actually, the Stormtroopers. It's almost like they've copied and pasted them. Well, I thought the clones weren't Stormtroopers, but maybe in this sense, these clones definitely seem a little bit botty. Hopefully, we'll be able to get these on the vehicle. Oh, here they go. They're walking up to us nicely, and we should be able to fishing rod them up pretty well. Okay, nicely done. Hopefully, come on, come on, come on. Fishing rod, fishing rod, fishing rod, and eventually, we do get them on the vehicle. And then they suddenly decide to start randomly pickaxing. So, luckily, we have them chug splashes so we can heal if they do take damage, and eventually, we do get moving quite well, and they decide to actually get hit by the car and now aggro on us. So now we've really got a limited time. We have to get this Clone Trooper to Brutal Bastion. Come on, it's the only one remaining on the truck. Why is he pickaxing? Why is he pickaxing? Oh no, he's fallen off. Well, yeah, that happened. So I come up with a different method. This time we're going to use the lightsabers to force push the actual boss over to the Clone Trooper and force push the Clone Trooper over to the boss as well. So moving them to High Card. An easier strategy, which I didn't think of at first, but the green lightsaber has a really short cooldown for its force push. So it's really effective to be able to move these clones. And if you get it right, you can get the clone heading towards the High Card location. And basically we can get High Card moving fairly quickly as well. If someone else is pushing High Card as I'm doing this, the clone will get there nicely. So moving him out nicely, there we are, charges up, and you just keep blocking and force pushing, and eventually you can see that High Card gets pretty close and we move High Card into the clone location. So High Card's here, the clone's in position. You can see we've got the Clone Trooper and High Card ready to go. They meet.
Hello there.
And this is it. You see them walk past each other. So obviously they will not aggro onto each other, but if we force them to aggro, who will win in the battle between the Clone Trooper and the High Card boss? So the battle starts, the Clone Trooper starts aiming towards us to start with, giving High Card a little bit of an advantage to start with. High Card actually missing every single shot right there. High Card, we know you're pretty bad, but are you that bad? Well, we'll find out. So, Clone Trooper hitting the ground here, not actually hitting High Card. The Clone Trooper is moving, which should give High Card a little bit of an advantage. He does get a little hit on the clone there. The clone again, still moving left to right over here. High Card hitting him with a 23. Clone Trooper not getting much damage on. Gets a lovely 37 onto the High Card there. So the Clone Trooper's got one hit on the High Card there, but look at this. Lots of fire going down, but not much hits going on. interestingly enough, these two aren't actually hitting each other that well. So if we speed it up a little bit, which I'm doing here, you can see we get 2 hits in there. High card actually taking a little bit of damage from the clone trooper. Clone trooper still suppressing onto the high card. The high card now taking cover on the hill, and the clone trooper taking cover behind the rock, dodging a bunch of the shots. Another shot coming in from the clone trooper. Wow, these clone troopers have got worse accuracy than I thought. I thought these were meant to be like the best troopers in the galaxy other than Django. They were cloned from him, so this is weird. They aren't actually hitting onto the high card. High card again still suppressing in, missing a lot of shots. It's almost like they're locked onto each other, but the shots just aren't hitting. Maybe they've got some sort of like Naruto effect or something, I don't know, but somehow they're dodging so much stuff here. Then obviously we can see high card moving in a little bit, trying to get some focus around that rock. You can see there in the distance, obviously us force pushing high card over to the other side. This actually gives high card the high ground.
I have the high ground.
Surely high card can take the advantage from here, but nope, he can't. He can't even aim straight. He's just hitting the rock, and obviously the clone trooper's using that to his advantage to get some shots up at high card, but not actually hitting him, just missing him slightly, and actually hitting the actual rock itself. So both of these still not continuing to hit each other in this battle between them. It's a long battle. Speeding it up a little bit, we've actually decided to move them a little bit because the storm is closing. So eventually, after moving them into the next zone, we did have the clone troopers and high card meet in the other biome further along the path. So you can see we've got clone trooper and high card still battling on each other, and this time they're actually hitting each other a little bit more, but then they've gone into that phase again where they just continue to miss. So you can see clone trooper getting a hit on high card there, high card also returning that fire. High card does do a little bit of damage, but not as much as the clone trooper's rifle will on high card, which gives the clone trooper a little bit of an advantage against the high card. But I guess high card has faster fire rate and he fires more bullets, but their accuracy almost seems on par. They both seem like they are very poor at shooting each other, and I've never seen a boss meet kind of be like this before, where two just stand at each other and fire and fire and fire until one gets as most hits as possible. But there is going to be a winner, and we will find out who that winner is going to be. So let's continue to watch this battle between these two, with high card aiming in and missing some more shots on that right side. Clone trooper gets a little bit of shots on, but we do decide to move clone trooper up onto the hill. But high card again continuing to miss his fire. Even when forcing them around, their shots aren't actually hitting or even tracking each other well enough. High card does get a little bit of extra damage down on the stormtrooper as he does rotate towards the wooden, I guess, fence, but high card is in an alright spot, moving a little bit again, force pushing him around because he needs to be forced pushed to get some damage on him. Clone trooper missing a few shots on the floor. High card takes a lot of damage at close range there. Actually, clone trooper is absolutely beaming him right now and cracks his shield entirely in the close range scenario. So clone trooper definitely gets the advantage in the close range, with high card continuing to miss his shots. He's definitely one of the worst bosses ever, high card, but it's interesting to see these two have this battle between each other. High card definitely has more HP than the clone trooper, but the clone trooper seems to have better accuracy in close range. So there's me force pushing him again. High card a little bit closer to the clone. The clone obviously on this left side, moving over the best he can. Clone aiming in the best, missing a few shots there on the high card. High card trying his best to hit the clone. Clone missing. High card missing as well. Both of them doing their best opportunity here, and they are beaming in a 1v1, but actually hitting the Anakin skin and not even hitting the high card. What is happening here? Clone does take a little bit of extra HP there. That was a little bit unfair, but that's okay. You just get a lovely shot on the high card and some more force pushes come in there to move the clone and high card a little bit further away. High card and clone now on a long range scenario, firing down at each other on this huge line. The storm is closing again, so we've got to be as quickly as possible, and it can force pulls the high card closer to the clone trooper, and we move the clone trooper over. Clone is firing in, he shoots with a no scope there and hits the high card for one shot, and hits the high card again and takes down the high card and gets the finish on the high card boss. If you enjoy these long experimental videos, it take a very long time to pull off, so feel free to use code POST in the item shop. It really does go a long way. Thank you.